Hi, welcome to Tom and Rob chat. That's Tom. I'm Rob. We're here in the hot days of August. We hit the 100 mark today. Heat index like 121 or something.
Yeah, the humidity is hanging out like a big wool blanket where we
Yeah.
don't need it. Oh my God.
This is where I see people like jogging, and I'm like, are you sure this is for your health? Because I'm not so sure.
I was an idiot in my 20s and I would run in this weather, but now I can't imagine it. In
Yeah.
fact, I got heat exhaustion one time because I tried to break a record at
Oh,
2 p.m. and it was 105 out.
I'm gonna go for it. I feel young and
Yep.
oh.
And I had heat exhaustion and I got super cold. And
Oh,
I mean, it was
you're like, uh-oh.
105. Oh, yeah, it was
I
bad.
feel
And then I
chilly.
could,
That's not good.
especially when I couldn't move my limbs. All my blood had rushed to my core,
Oh
keep me
God.
alive.
Wow. Were you near
So it was bad.
someplace I mean, obviously you survived, but
Yes, I collapsed right in front of the nurse's office of the summer camp I was.
golly. Quick, get him some electrolytes and stuff. And
And she happened to be my mom, so she came out, brought
oh,
me into the. She brought me into the place, and and I had water with electrolytes, and in a cool room, and I stayed there for about an hour and a half, and I was fine.
yeah. But it is dangerous. If you don't have access to those, it could kill you,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, we
Well,
hear
if it
about
gets past heat exhaustion to heat stroke, then you're in big trouble. You could get brain damage from
Uh,
that.
I mean, everyone in Europe is just like lying all over the place. There's like photographs of them just lying on the ground, trying to like deal with it. Um, yeah, we get. I mean, lots of air conditioning here in the States, but still, when you're not in the air conditioning, it's the real deal. Now,
Yep.
what was it you were saying you were going to talk to? You said you had three things to talk. Missionary uh, movement since then.
Uh-oh.
I just.
Are you back?
Oh, did I blip? Sorry.
You did. You
Um.
blipped.
All right. All right. Subject change has nothing to
Yes.
do with anything except these are like things that happen to me in traffic to and from going to see the Odyssey.
Mm.
One was both are on B Caves Road, which is a 5-lane road that actually has a dedicated left turn lane for turning either direction. But at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, traffic is pretty bumper to bumper. So someone sitting in the left turn lane trying to turn across traffic to go into a little driveway up the side might wait there a long time unless everyone's nice. You need both
Right.
lanes to stop for you. And sometimes, like when I'm the guy waiting and one guy stops and he's like, come on, come on, come on. I'm like, the other lane has to stop. I can't just go because you're being nice. Anyway, I was the second driver to arrive and see the situation and pause because it was backed up from a light up to where the lady was. And so we both
Hmm.
left our car length to make the turn. And I'm looking at her and she seems to be kind of looking back at us. I'm like, take the turn. What else could you possibly be waiting for than for me to stop too and let you do this?
Yeah.
Come, what else were you sitting there in your car hoping would happen? That you're not ready to do this? And
Yeah.
then the light turns, all the cars start going. So we both want to go now. Then she goes, oh, and starts to try and do it. I'm like, why did you wait? I don't
I know.
understand. What could you be waiting for? But the opportunity that we both gave you, and you didn't take it until it was almost too. Anyway, so that was already like,
Yeah, there's a moment that you recognize it and you have to go and you have to have a confidence as a driver to do it. And if you
yes,
don't, if you hesitate, you are lost. You who
yeah.
hesitate.
We were being real nice at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
On the way home, same road, someone, it was a huge black truck. And this time traffic was sparse,
Uh-oh.
so we're not bumper to bumper. We're all kind of spread out. The two guys in front of me passed this guy, and He's turning across 3 lanes of traffic to go into the fourth lane coming the other way I am. But he times it so that he goes after the guys in front of me. But if I didn't slow down and hit my brakes, I would crash at 40 miles an hour right into either his hood or his driver's side door. It's like you're leaving it up to me to. That
Slow
means that
down.
wasn't the window to go. Why didn't you?
No.
There's no one behind me.
Yeah.
Why wasn't I part of the calculation of how long you would wait before going? Because I know when
He would
I'm
have
the
sucked at
doofus
Frogger.
wanting to make the turn, I don't I don't assume anyone's going to change how fast they're driving or do anything to make
Right.
my
As you shouldn't.
calculation. They could be texting, they could be dropping the coffee in their lap, anything could be
Yeah.
happening. And
Right.
this guy was assuming I would stop for him. I'm like, but you shouldn't. Why do I get screwed both ways when I'm the guy I was? But that
I,
was not the
I
window, dude. Why
no,
didn't
I
I
know.
count?
I see it a lot on North Lamar here too when I'm going between say 45th Street and I don't know, go down to
Huh,
24th.
yeah.
Cars trying to get into the flow will just assume you're going to slow down, and it's just like I'm like, dude, you could, I wait. Why don't you wait?
Yeah.
But I don't want to smack my car, so I slow down.
Yeah, because I don't want to have that crash. I did something, but like, why did he get to assume that I would do that for him? I don't know.
Very dangerous.
And then they just putter along the way, learning no lesson is which that's what gets me. Like if they learned some lesson out of it. I mean, I leaned on my horn like, "Hey, you idiot! What did you just think was the?" But that probably, that just, annoys people. Like, how dare you
Yeah.
honk at me? Sometimes they honk back, like, oh yeah.
Well, I
uh,
did that to somebody, and they honked at me, and I did
the
the sorry,
what?
I'm sorry, I fucked
sorry,
up,
sorry, sorry, sorry. Sometimes I do
and
know, like, oh yeah, I was
they
the doofus
accepted
in
it.
that situation. I like to pretend I'm like 100% right all the time. I'm like, oh no, they were right.
No,
I goofed that one. I try. I just can't
but
do,
I try to acknowledge the goof. I try not to be mean about it, and okay, I screwed that up. Sorry.
Although sometimes when I'm really in a
Both hands up
crappy
is like,
mood, I people do that like sorry, and I'm like no, I'm not
I don't
gonna,
accept your
I
apology.
don't accept it. Everyone's a hypocrite. Oh, it's terrible being a human being. You try, and you just can't do anything. I didn't see. I usually talk about some other random movie I saw, but this one's so bad I shouldn't mention it.
Oh, I saw a
It's
bad
called.
one too.
Oh, well, let me hear yours first.
On Netflix, there's a movie called The Last House, and it has Wagner Mora, who was in The Secret Agent, which was
Oh,
nominated for a
oh,
foreign
that's yes.
language.
Okay, foreign
And
language
so
film this year.
he did such a good job in that some American decided to give him a big payday with Netflix to do this, um, I don't know, thriller horror thing. Um, and it had an interesting. Here's the most interesting part about it, Rob. This rain comes, but the rain is semi-animate or controlled, in that when it gets over your house, it can lock your doors and seal your windows, and you can't get out. So even if you try to bust out, it seals
It's
like a
like the
self-sealing
water is
tile.
holding you in somehow.
Yes, yes. And so it's an interesting idea.
Okay.
And of course, people are trying to figure out, what's happening? Is this happening down the street? Yes, it's happening all over the place, and blah 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 blah. Blah. And it just, how uh, you watch Nolan's 2-hour, 52-minute film, and it feels like it flies by. This movie, I don't always do this, but this movie, I had to take the remote and stop it, so that Netflix would tell me where I was in the timeline.
Like, how much more do
30,
we have? Oh my God, we're not even halfway
was
yet. Kind
34
of thing.
minutes in. No, we were 34 minutes in, which meant I had to watch three-quarters more of this stuff because it was annoying me so bad. And I turned,
Ah,
we watched it, and Virginia and I both gritted it out. We said, no, we got to see what happens.
And
The
what was this
ending
called again?
was called The Last House.
Okay. And so the ending you were about to say?
The ending makes absolutely no sense.
Absolutely no sense.
They they make these they make these choices, and they're actually arguing with each other. No, he's right. And I went, why? I don't get the logic here. Um, okay, he's right. Why? Because you haven't set this up very well. And here's the thing, that for an unfunded filmmaker, they threw a lot of money at this shit. They got,
Huh.
it's very, CGI heavy. It's probably a very expensive movie to make. And it's like, huh? And there were a couple of water sequences that didn't make any sense, because you would imagine with this constant rain, and it's set in Seattle, so it rains there all the time, or the Seattle suburbs.
No. Huh.
But that the rain, and I knew I was gonna hate it. People remember when the rain came. When the rain came, blah, the rain came. And I was
Okay.
going, oh God, if you say that one more
One
time.
more time.
So that was the level of the writing.
Is this a
And
Netflix original? Like they funded it?
I think so. I think so.
Okay.
And it's almost like, how when you pull something out of the fridge and go, oh God, smell that. And
You
it's almost
smell
like
this. Ah,
it's almost like you got to watch this film. It's so bad,
you gotta
but
watch
it's
this.
not bad
Smell
that it
this.
becomes
No, no,
good
really
again.
smell it. This is terrible. Smell this.
I feel like
um,
that's what I'm doing to you, and I apologize in advance.
yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Well,
Oh my
so
God.
uh, I've known about this movie. I think I saw it on cable when I remember when it came out in theaters. Maybe it's called Under the Rainbow. Do you know what this is?
Yeah. Right.
It's it's
Are you coming back?
yeah. I'm waiting for it. Okay, here we go. Under the Rainbow uh is
About the
purportedly the
Munchkins
behind the
and
scenes story of making the Wizard of Oz, and has munchkins running around.
yeah.
With Chevy Chase, and I forgot Carrie Fisher, and
Yes.
Billy Barty as the villain in his Munchkin. He's the only one who gets upfront credit in the movie. But I knew who Billy Barty was. Yeah, I guess I watched Doctor Shrinker. He was Sid and Marty Krofft Saturday morning. Anyway, purportedly a comedy, but one of these comedies is like it's trying, and it just scene after scene does not work. And you're like, huh. I wonder what's happening. We now know that, like, at this point in her career, Carrie Fisher was kind of like getting coked up all the
Glug,
time.
glug,
That
glug,
might
glug, glug.
explain something. Chevy Chase was kind of too, but I was like, why was Chevy Chase in this movie at this point? And how he is now well known to be like an absolute jerk. If he's on a project, he does, even if he likes it, he's a jerk. He must have been really awful on this movie because he could just tell his instincts. He would know this one's a stinker. This is not coming off right. And it tries to have a couple of characters that short statured actors in real parts. A lot of them are
Mm-hmm.
just extras. So you think they'd
Mm-hmm.
be sort of trying to be sympathetic to the idea of, like, let's not make fun of all these little people as if they're just some kind of thing. But that's what the movie does anyway. Apart from the two characters that are actual characters, um, the rest of them are running around like little feral children, swinging on chandeliers, climbing on furniture, and causing havoc in a hotel as if they have no civilized bones in their body, and they're just
They're not
for laughs.
adults,
Let's show
right?
them running after a dog. Let's show them climbing on this. It's like, it's really humiliating too. And I know probably some of them were originally in the Wizard of Oz. They're the older
Yeah.
ones, and then they got younger ones, and a couple of them they try and give a little more screen time to. But I'm just like, this is like undercutting what it seems like you wanted to do. And then they instead of going more into like about making the movie, it ends up being this sort of World War II. It's 1938, 39.
Right.
But Billy Barty is like a Nazi. They actually use the word midget. He's a Nazi midget. There's even a scene with Hitler giving him his orders. I want you to go to the United States and get. And then they have meet the Japanese man with the camera. So there's a whole
Oh.
Japanese stereotype thing where, like, there are 25 Japanese men in identical white suits with cameras around their necks taking pictures of everything. Go, oh, thank you very much. And then they do a whole grinding out. The secret code is the pearl is in the river, but someone's necklace falls in their plate of liver and onions, and the Japanese man who's not the actual spy says, the pearl is in the river, the river. And I'm like, oh my God. Uh, And of course, Japanese wouldn't be sent off to internment camps for another couple of years. But I'm like, this is awfully close in period to that time. Because now you're making this movie, you know that happened, right? I don't know.
I
It just the
know.
whole thing was just
Yeah.
offensively obnoxious from beginning to end. Even if you wanted to try and like it, but and then what was weird is like, who wrote this thing? And there's a big old Irish actor, comic. Actually, I think he might have been a stand-up comedian as well as a comic actor named Pat McCormick. He has a big
Oh
mustache.
yeah.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, I know
If you
Pat
picture him in a
McCormick.
little bowler hat, that's what he plays that in the movie. He's like the hotel
Yeah.
detective or something. But he was listed as the first writer. It's one of those things where, like, written by Pat or story by Pat McCormick, written by Pat McCormick and two other guys and three other guys, that kind of thing. Like,
Oh
so,
wow.
but it still seems like, why did he come up with this story? Though there were a couple scenes where it seemed like he had a lot of business with one particular small fellow. Like, I wonder if he met a guy. That guy had stories. They kind of cooked this up, kind of pitched it, but then it went through
Mm-hmm.
this deflavorizing process on the way to being directed. And just like, oh, they keep trying to do slapstick things and they just kind of go clunk. And well,
And
funnily
they
enough, the
probably brought
one
in writers to punch it up, and
trying to punch it up
they
and they
couldn't
just
quite
punched
get
it
it
down
punched.
and beat the stuffing out of it. Yeah, the guy, they have too many plot lines. There's like some fancy folks from Europe. I think they're being having an assassination plot, and there actually is an assassin, but he's a goofy one that falls down on banana peels all the time, and uh, that and the Nazis and the Japanese and the Munchkins and everything, and none of it works, and it's just a big like, oh my God. The funnily enough, like the one small actor who gets the biggest actual role, and you can see the guy is like given the performance of his life because he's never going to get another chance to have like a good, solid, almost leading role in a movie.
Yeah.
So his earnestness just comes off the screen. He's trying to do a good job. He's actually like more like 5 feet tall as opposed to all the ones that are like under 4 feet tall. Like
Yeah.
when you cast like a slightly lighter skinned actress, because that's that's somehow more palatable. He's the slightly taller short person than the other ones. And in a couple of shots when he was doing some stuff, I'm like, son of a gun, he actually looks almost exactly like Tom Wyrick does. Which
Oh
is
wow.
it occurred to me 3/4 of the way through the movie. I'm like, that's weird. Yeah, a little bit of a flatter nose and profile, but like his actual face, especially when he was earnestly acting, because Tom was a very earnest actor. And I was
Yeah,
like,
he was.
oh. It just suddenly reminded me of it. And that is not an insult to either actor. I I like both of them, but it's just one of
No,
those
no.
weird things about it. Yeah. Oh, and there was the actual evil Japanese spy is played by the actor named Mako. There's this
Oh
guy,
yeah, no,
just
I
one named
like
Mako.
Mako.
He was in a lot of stuff. Asian actor number 4. He was in all sorts of things.
He
So I
played
don't know whether
Japanese, he played
he
Chinese,
put
he
Japanese,
played
Korean. He was on
Vietnamese,
MASH. He was in this, that, and the
Korean.
other.
Yep. He was everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He calls
For Asian
Billy
actors.
Barty. He calls Billy Barty a Nazi nip, and I'm like, nip. That was like a pejorative term for a Japan. Why were you calling him a nit? Why it shocked me, and I didn't know what to make of it at the time. Uh So don't watch Under the Rainbow. It was free on YouTube,
Okay.
one of their YouTube movies. That's why I'm like, oh, I remember that. I wonder if it's any good. No, no, it is not.
Not on any level, right?
Not on any level. And then at the last scene of the movie, they like the 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 guy wakes up and is like, "Oh, I really got bonked on the head. Was it all a dream?" And I know that's the Wizard of Oz thing. Where I'm like, "No, you're not saying the whole movie was a the whole movie was a dream he had because he got bonked on the head." Ugh! Don't do that. Okay, I wrote a couple of notes because before we started, you said you had three things you wanted to talk about, and I remember the other
Oh, that
two.
I could. You do remember? Okay.
One
We
had to
don't
do
have
with
to
something
talk
to do
about
with
them.
the governor of Minnesota, and
Yeah, there's this funny little quirk in the law, the state law of Minnesota. Now, if you don't know, they have not had their primaries yet, and Mike Lindell
the
uh,
pillow guy.
is my pillow guy. He is running, and he has the president's endorsement, and he's
Mhm.
leading in the polls. And the Republicans are like, "Oh God, how do we get rid of this guy?" So they're petitioning now. He does not meet the residency clearly does not meet the residency
Yeah,
requirements to be on the bill. You're supposed to be live there a year before the election, and he has not. He has not lived. He actually voted. The last time he voted was in Texas. So
yeah.
he does not. He does not.
Hey, where can I run for governor? Oh, Minnesota. Okay, I'll move there 6 weeks beforehand and say I live here.
Yeah. So here's what happens. They are petitioning the Secretary of State to remove him from the ballot because he's ineligible and for that purpose. Well, the Secretary of State does not have that authority. They have to go to state court and a judge because if the Secretary of State does it, there's no due process. And even though you'd say, well, okay, do you need due process? We're not taking away property or your life. But the state law does say no, you have to go to a court and the court has to adjudicate this and they have to remove you.
Right.
Well, they don't have enough time to get him removed by August 16th or 90 days before the general election. So if they don't have enough time to do that and he gets the nomination and then a judge says he can't be on it, the election in November 3rd is null and void by state law.
Wow.
And there has to be a new election on February, I think, 3rd or 23rd. And then the new governor would be installed a month later after that election. So, by
Ah,
quirk of state law, it is quite possible that he gets the nomination, gets removed from the ballot after in that 90-day period where if it's after that, it voids if the judge says, okay, you're out, and there's no election for governor November 3rd. So that is the one thing I
just
read about it today and I went, wow, that is so weird. Why did
the
they?
way things are
They're going to
going,
change
that
this law.
is
I
just what's
guarantee
going
you
to
they'll change
happen.
that. They'll change that law, I'm sure. But that's what the law states. And as we
Mm.
know, state law rules. And there are some things that an election official can do, but this is according to the law. They're not allowed to. The Secretary of State is not allowed to say you can't be on the ballot. So,
It's
so
fun.
they're going to have to eat
we
this.
we've heard a lot from Republicans over the past decade talking about states' rights when it was convenience for them. Suddenly, they're not talking about states' rights so much anymore. They don't like it.
And they
Uh,
keep writing letters to the Democratic Secretary of State, and he keeps going, fellas, I can't do anything. My hands are tied. I can't do it. You have to go to a judge. And by the way, you got to get the judge to agree to do this before August 16th, or you're in the 90-day period. And
yeah,
if he then agrees with you afterwards, the election is null and void. The general election null and void.
this
You
is not
can't
the same
replace
as
him.
the president keeps signing new executive orders all the time, especially when he does.
Yes.
He just said you can't do mail-in ballot, voting by
Mhm.
executive order, and it's like, can you really say that? But he's like, and also he tried to he didn't like the birthright citizenship Supreme Court decision, so he issued an executive order countermanding that, saying no, what
Right.
I say. And I'm thinking, what is the play here that, okay, so he executive order, someone sues him saying this executive order is BS. It goes
Hmm.
back to the Supreme Court, and the court says, you know what? Forget what we said 5 months ago. We're going to say the other way now. Now that we've had a chance to think about it again, I
Well,
wonder.
it's what he's done with tariffs, right? They knocked him down on the first tariff thing, so he came up with another one, but that only lasted for 120 days. And when that went out, he came up with a third tariff rationale. This one being, not unfair trade, forced labor. These countries use forced labor, therefore we can't. I'm allowed to punish them with a tariff.
This is so
So
exhausting. It's just like, when is this going to
it's
end? When is this
no, when
madness?
he dies or when he's out of office. But
Oh, so
when Iran
your last
decides,
point, Nate Silver was what you were getting
oh
to.
yeah. So Nate Silver, who is the Mr. Data guy, with he runs a model. It is now under his Substack called the Silver Bulletin, and I know someone who has a paid subscription decided to divulge the information because I went to the Silver Bulletin and I did the free one. Doesn't tell you that much.
Hmm.
But the interesting thing is he gives here we're under 90 days, or we're
Yep,
real close to 90 days.
we're real close.
August 16th.
The
Mm,
16th, you just said, yeah.
yeah. mm, to the election. And at this point, he said that the Democrats have an 86% chance of capturing the House, and he actually gives odds for each individual
Hmm.
seat as well. It's very interesting. I'm looking at the map now. It's very blue. So, but unfortunately, in this snapshot of it, that is allowing me to look at his in the paywall stuff, it doesn't tell me how many seats he's predicting. He usually does this thing. He does a bell curve,
Yeah.
and the one in the middle is what he thinks is most likely. Mm. But then he also did one for the Senate. And in the Senate, um, he now has the Democrats with a 57% chance of flipping the Senate. And the four most likely flips are North Carolina,
Hmm.
Maine, Texas, and Ohio in that order. And
Hmm.
I thought, interesting,
Ohio.
because
Hmm.
no, if they think Sherrod Brown is kicking butt, and John Husted is not a very good candidate, apparently. I wouldn't know. I know Sherrod Brown. I followed him in the past, and he is kind of a firebrand.
Yeah, I like Sherrod Brown. Um,
Yeah.
um,
So anyway, I thought that was interesting. What
that
I
is
thought was
interesting.
also interesting, he's got Talarico here in Texas with a 63% chance of flipping the state.
That's a healthy chance.
In
We
Texas,
don't
yeah.
know, but
But the
yeah.
ones that surprised me was I thought Peltola, or am I saying her wrong? No, I've said her name right. Peltola, Mary Peltola up in Alaska. I thought
Mhm.
she'd have a much closer chance than what he's saying. He's saying 43%.
Hmm.
I thought she'd be closer to 50. And Jason Turek, who is the former wheelchair basketball twice gold Olympian in the Paralympian, I guess I'd have to call. He
Uh,
has a 44% chance of flipping um, the
North.
Iowa.
Oh. Um. It's funny
So
because
anyway, those
I
those are the
we
interesting
all got a
little
little burned
data
supporting
bumps.
Beto O'Rourke when he kept trying to. But
But he
you still
never
see
led in
Beto
any
stickers on
poll.
cars. I don't
I
see a
know.
lot of Tallarico's lawn signs and bumper stickers, but
I
he
do in my neighborhood,
okay.
but they're
Because
a ton in
there
my
was a lot of
neighborhood.
Beto up even in my neighborhood at the time.
Oh sure,
I
yeah.
just read a disconcerting article about the the DNC and its embattled and kind of increasingly paranoid and stressed out leader, Ken Martin.
And Martin, yeah.
And it was basically like he's starting to get into shouting matches every day, signs of stress, threw a phone at a junior aide, and actually the guy, reported him to HR, and there's a whole thing, and he's like, he's paranoid that he's not going to lose his job. I'm like, well, maybe you should. I
At
mean,
this point, yeah.
at this point, and like, you don't seem like you're doing it very well, and it's so important right now that we. But also, I was, they're like, there's a major funding gap between the RNC and the DNC. The RNC is like, they got all the throwing money into PACs and war
Oh
chests and
yeah.
stuff. And
Yeah.
then it says the DNC is 2 million in debt. I'm like, how did you do that? And then I'm thinking, you know what? I went through the past couple election cycles because I did make a couple of donations here and
Yes.
there. I felt totally abused by how much spam I got 24 hours a day, month after month after month, until I started reporting all of it as abusive spam.
Yeah.
Not just deleting it, but like delete and report as spam. And
Hmm.
I no wonder you guys are underfunded now. You kind of abused the privilege of asking us for funds.
And the way
I
the
mean,
way in which they did it too was, I don't know if they did this to you, Rob, but I got things like, "Oh no, if you don't give us $5 today, the whole world will." It was Henny Penny, and it was like, holy
mm,
crap! First of
yep.
all, I don't believe you, and secondly, that's not the way to ask me, because you already got
Yes,
money out of me. You got money
right.
out of me. Go get some money out of somebody else. But no, their thing, because the fundraiser, what a political or even any kind of charitable fundraiser, the people that they always go back to are the people who have already given them money,
Yeah,
because only 3 or 4% ever give them any dough.
it's sort of the way it
So
works. Yeah,
unfortunately, yeah, it is the way it goes. So
but
you tend to
I mean,
have to harass the people who are nice enough to give you money in the first place.
I think, war chests aside, people might people know the stakes of this, and
Hmm.
Democratic voters might come out in absolute waves and droves, fundraising or not. Like the DNC doesn't have to do
Right.
anything. And
I
I
think
wish
this
they weren't
year
in debt.
it's
That
not
seems
as
like an
important.
unhealthy situation. But what did you do with all the
Well, they
money that
should have
you're
voted.
all the way that?
I supported Ben Wickler in that election, and he came in second to Ken Martin, and so
Mhm.
should have gone with Ben, the dude who turned around Wisconsin. Now Wisconsin
I just
is a dynamo.
once we learned all the autopsy report that they wouldn't release, then they released, and it was an embarrassing bag of like, oh, I asked my friend to do it, and he kind of half-assed it. It's like, what? But don't worry, we didn't pay him. It's like, well, maybe you should have paid somebody. Well, oh, like, you can't. You're 2 million in debt. I see. What are you doing? I mean,
Well,
that
the
reading
thing
that
about it
article
is
drove me
that,
a little nuts.
yeah, because the DNC focused starting a few, I think when, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Ronald Brown took it over during the Clinton administration, and he was a Wall Street lawyer,
Hmm.
and he convinced them, hey, why are we trying to get $25 here, $25 there, blah blah blah. We have friends who have deep pockets, who will give us $2,300 right off the bat for each candidate, but we have to ask the right people. So he was the one that got people, that got Democrats to think about going after Wall Street, going after lobbyists, going after all the people that we
Hollywood.
shouldn't be. Yes. Oh, Hollywood, yeah, but they're pretty lefty. Most of them are lefties. So
Hmm.
not most of them, but a good portion. And so they stopped. They were pissing off the people like me who would give them $25, $50 every election cycle.
You,
They pissed us off.
you
We don't
don't
give them money
matter. It's the
anymore.
2300 guys. Is
And
that
so
still a
that's
thing?
probably
That
why they're.
$2,300 limit?
I think so. If it isn't,
Okay.
they may have adjusted it
I mean,
for
of course, the
inflation,
whole
but
idea of a personal limit, now that you can throw anything into a pack that you want and not have it traced
right.
at all, kind of undercut that
Yeah.
whole idea. But
Well,
I mean, I
Elon
guess it
Musk
still
is
applies
laughing
to a
at
normal
me.
voter like you or me. It just
Yeah.
doesn't apply to a
Elon's going,
billionaire.
oh, ho, 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 ho. I will set up my
Twenty three
super
hundred
PAC, you
dollars.
moron.
God. I mean, we're not 100% completely screwed, but it seems so hair thin to being that way. It gets scary sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
we just got to keep watching this play out month after month and saying, here comes another election. We're all hoping for that
well,
blue map, but
as the Hungarian folks showed us, you have to just keep. They're gonna keep trying to steal things, and you just got to keep saying no, 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 no. And when you tell them no, they get frustrated
you can
because
see it.
they.
They're really hot headed when they get pushed, even just a little.
Mhm.
It's just a journalist
Well,
asking one more follow up, and they. I was just watching all these guys, from Scott Bessent to RFK. They come swaggering you with this kind of smug, arrogant, like I own the place
uh,
attitude, and
uh,
they're all
uh,
smiley. And then you push them a little bit, and suddenly
yeah,
they're like hostile, hostile. So it's like the
yeah, and
veneer is
I
so
love it
thin
when
with these guys.
Besson gets mad because he has this halting way of speaking. Well,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Well, the truth of the matter is that and he talks like that, and it's just like, and then when he gets mad, it's even worse.
Yes.
Or, well, you're obviously, instead of being an objective questioner, you have an agenda you're trying to push here, and we are trying to push the people's agenda, which is, and you're going, what? Dude.
Which
Plus, he looks
people?
like a duck. Have you noticed that? Little duck face.
Oh, and
If
someone
you were going
tried
to
to.
do the cartoon version of him, he'd be a duck.
They're all so cartoonish, but
Eh,
they all
eh,
get.
eh. And then, hey, sounds like I'm running a chipper back here, but really it's my voice. Man,
I,
it's
I
tough.
have
That's tough on the old
spastic
throat.
dysphagia. Get out of my face. Um, just one more weird. I don't know. RFK is so. I mean, you would think he was a hardcore MAGA guy his entire life, the way he talks now, but he wasn't. Uh,
But it's
Something
so
about
funny
the
when
being in close orbit to this president just it turns you into a creature out the other side, no matter where you came from. I don't know how he has that power, but I just observe it happening all the time.
yeah.
Um,
And the funniest thing is when he was trying to run down Dana Bash, and God love
mm,
her, he said, well, Dana, you probably can't understand that because you're not a scientist. And she goes, neither are you.
Neither are you. Remember, you're kind of a lawyer, if anything. Uh,
Yeah.
he's convinced
And
himself he is a scientist. He says things like, "Well, I read the science." And like,
I
but you
read the
cherry pick
study
stuff that you
is
read, and you throw things out halfway through if you decide, oh, I liked it up until this point, and then I don't like it.
right.
Ah,
He
that's
thinks
not
that
how
if he
science
says
works.
gold, if he keeps saying gold standard of science, then it somehow has some meaning for people. But it's just, they just keep saying that it's meaningless. It's like,
It is
no.
utterly meaningless because all
And
you have to do is
yeah,
ask one or two factual things, and then he just gets all emotional
they
and says,
fall
"You don't
apart.
know what
Yeah.
you're talking about."
This is the same thing I've been having to deal with since I got here. And I'm tired of it, frankly.
Oh,
And look, I'm not making it. And I refuse to call him RFK. I call him Robert Kennedy Jr.
Junior. Yeah, let's not taint
RFK is
the
for the
initials.
original dude.
The original dude.
Yeah,
I almost
he's
caught
just
myself when I
tainting.
said that a minute ago.
Yeah. I don't like it because he's basking in the glow of a much, I mean, RFK was a bit of a, like his dad and brother,
Yeah.
a bastard towards women, but that's the way he was brought up. But in other ways, he was actually a pretty decent human being. This guy, this guy got his own brother hooked on heroin so that he had someone to do heroin with.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why Caroline Kennedy can't stand him.
Ethel should have spanked him more. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, he was a spoiled little brat when he was a kid.
I bet he was. By his own
Yeah, so
admission, he
yeah.
was. I mean, who else could have, afford heroin when they were going to Harvard? I don't know.
Well, he's had character issues his whole life. I mean, and the
because some of
family's
those
just
kids are,
frankly tired
what
of
are there,
it.
8 or 9 of them? They're pretty decent people.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was
And
a
even the third
documentary about
generation.
Ethel a few years ago, I think made by
Mm-hmm.
Rory, the youngest one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a nice portrait of a very complicated and interesting and dynamic lady who raised this
Mm-hmm.
brood single-handedly because the father
He
was
was
not in the
off.
picture long enough.
Right.
But yeah, it's like some screwy just what, but when he was trying to run for president originally, I don't know. It worked as a springboard to get into this administration, I guess. If he also has ambitions that he's still going to be president someday, like Rubio does, they're all crazy. Um, but his own family, like said, we don't usually like to, talk about our own family members, but like, don't let him run for president. Don't trust him. Don't listen to him. He's gone weird.
Well, imagine the primary field, Rob, if in 28 it's RFK,
It's
Rubio,
all the guys.
Vance, uh, Tucker Carlson is making noises about wanting to run
Yes, he
for
is.
president.
I think we should take
And
that
I'm like,
seriously.
who else? What other influencer might want to, like,
Yeah, someone just from
what's
the
her
blog,
face?
the
The
manosphere
Russian
will pop
lover.
up. Joe Rogan will run. I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know, something.
possibly.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
that's going to be a hell of a. They're just going to rip each other apart. I
And
mean,
some other odd governors from red states here and there, Oh, Abbott.
oh yeah. Well, if he loses to Gina Hinojosa, he's in big,
He's
big
in big
trouble.
trouble. And he should, but I don't know. That's a tall order. But it's like I remember when we had a female governor, Democratic in Texas. It was a
Yeah, she was
it was a
good.
short 4 years, but they were good 4 years.
Yeah,
And then everything changed. Hmm.
yeah,
Man.
yeah. Oh my
I
God.
mean, I also especially personally remember it because Ann Richards was interested in the funding the Texas film industry.
Yes, she
And Bush
was.
came in and was
I don't.
not as interested in that. And so everything went to Shreveport or went to New Mexico. They just like drained
Yeah,
a lot of people out of the
correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't she help start the governor's office of the
Texas Film
Texas Film
Commission.
Commission?
I think so. That's my
Okay.
recollection. And it was sort of on the priority list of something to like, yeah, this could be really good for the state of Texas if we bring,
Think about how much
film production
money.
into the
Yeah,
state.
yeah.
And yeah, and
Georgia
not
actually did
supporting
it,
it
and they're
is not as
rolling in
good.
dough. Right.
Oh well, boy. Okay, we've talked long enough. I don't even know how long we've talked. A long time. These shows are getting longer and longer. And when I
You're.
click on a YouTube and it has a nice title, I'm like, I'm interested in that, and it says it's an hour long. I'm like, I don't
Do I want to say
know.
the? Well, we're over an hour.
I think I should take some time and like look at
Make it
all
a
our
two-parter.
episodes and cut them into chunks and try uploading some chunks and see if that does anything. I even saw an ad
Yeah,
for
they
like,
have a thing called shorts, don't they? Like
yeah, and
YouTube
shorts are
shorts.
even better. Like shorts are really where
Hmm.
the eyeballs are now. I saw an ad for like, hey, our AI will take your long video and find the shorts in it. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to use that, but that shows that that's on that's where the thing is. So that means looking for things that are like a minute long and then making
Right.
it vertical, like and so that would I'm like, I don't know if this is where you hire a gig editor to like do your stuff for you, but I don't really feel like doing that either. But I just need to like, I don't know, I could take think about, because Tuesdays are already when I think about doing this. I could take a Tuesday and like find some shorts to cut day. Do that a couple of times a week. Everything's here, and I even kind of like rewatching occasionally bits of these things. It's like every time
Hmm.
I do that, I should go cut that, write it down, or get the editor out, and it's all still on the hard drive. All the edit files are there. I
Yeah.
just need to slice it. It's not that hard. It wouldn't take that long. I don't know. I might think about doing that. Although, like, how much do I want the audience to grow? I don't know. But it's gotten like, so instead of 12 when it's 5, I'm like, huh. Because I'm like, there's you, there's me. Uh-oh, like we're down to like we're half the audience that's watching it. That's not so great. I just don't want to
That's
lose the
not good.
12 people we have. That's what I'm worried we're doing that. We just talk too much. But I don't know. I enjoyed this chat very much. I
I
like the
did
fact that
too.
we talk about all sorts of different things. This time the politics is at the end rather than up front. We'll see what that does. Who knows? Anyway, thanks for chatting, Tom. I'll talk to you the
Oh,
next
thank
time we
you.
talk. Bye bye.
All right.
Stay
Take
stay
care.
cool
Bye
in the
bye.
heat. All right. Bye bye.
Yeah, you too. Bye bye.